Yo yo, welcome back to Severna. So last time we spent quite a lot of time planning out what is probably one of the biggest expansions to the, well, it is the biggest expansion we've done to the oil field since the founding of Severna in the modern sense. And as you can see behind me, the construction is going very well and is very much underway. So I've sped this footage up to about 1,000 times normal speed because it is an absolutely ridiculous amount of time being built here with all the roads, the pipes, the storage, the refinery infrastructure, power connections, and all those loads of other little things that need to be done when doing an expansion like this. And then we've still got to go through the troubleshooting, whether everything's working properly, whether it's connected properly, and whether it's enough, whether we have expanded the oil field enough to meet the current demand. Oil has become much more important to Severna than it used to be, as we are now using it primarily for energy as well, whereas previously the Republic was powered by coal. So that will be phased out, and the only coal that we will be using is coal for our steel mills. Originally, it was one of the biggest industries and actually helped the Republic in the early days. Obviously, we were just able to export crude oil, and that was able to keep our heads above water in those few early years before we got the refineries built and the more advanced metalworking and construction. We are producing more chemicals, more plastics, more fuel, and generally just consuming far more oil products internally and exporting those products as well, which is helping our economy grow, but we do need to obviously meet that demand. And that's one of the reasons I've spent a long time planning this. There's also many interconnected bits here that sort of project where the clone tool is incredibly useful. You can plan out an entire section, duplicate it, move things around, and actually see a whole system's going to fit together before committing to the construction, even if you have to edit those clones a little bit, which is especially useful when you're dealing with things like this, like pipelines. But now we've reached a slightly more interesting stage, because building all this is one thing, but actually integrating it into the rest of the Republic is another. The new refineries are going to be producing a fairly substantial amount of fuel and bitumen, and at the moment we don't really have a sensible way of moving all of that away from the oil field. So I think the proper job here would either be for a new port or expanding the pipelines quite a bit, because I think it just won't be enough to export it from the other pumping harbour near the original refineries. I want to establish a dedicated service connecting the new refinery complex to the Severna passenger network, so we can get workers out here to work at these refineries. Additionally, we'll need signalling, quite possibly a bit of rearranging of the rail itself, depending how much traffic this area will generate. Once that's working, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really planned much further than this, because I'm kind of releasing these as they come, just so I can keep up with myself. Well, I know there are several things needed to be dealt with at the moment, so let's get the trains connecting, because the station is complete. So we'll just zhuzh up the station a little bit. Even though it's a train station for a oil refinery, doesn't mean it has to be miserable or unattractive. It's doesn't make it any worse. It looking nice, does it? Doesn't make it any less good at its job if it just looks nice. There we go. So that's the airport. The train station all zhuzhed up, ready for its first group of workers. And also the little trick I use, so if you watch my previous videos, I like to put fountains everywhere, because it's just a really good indicator of whether the water is pumping through correctly, because obviously in residential areas it really upsets people, and if there's no water in industrial areas, then it won't function sufficiently, hardly at all. So always check that. So we'll get that sorted now. So we'll put it here nice and close to where the fountain is, and it will also serve the refineries as well. Here is the new pipeline, planned it all out now. So I've got an additional pump here just to give the water an extra kick. It's just there so that it will push that water now all the way to this one here. So I won't be putting any more large buildings here. The only thing we do need to put here is because it is quite far away from the rest of Severna, and now people are going to actually be coming here and working here. We do need some oppression. So we need to put in the police station and a fire station as well, just to keep people safe whilst they are at work. So the fire station here, just so it's on the main road, so it can connect if any services actually back in Balcaza need it to help them. It'll be quick to go back, and also we'll be able to add fire protection to this area as well. And the police station we'll put slightly back, nearer to the actual station itself, if I can find it I can build on. There we go. Right, so we'll get the police station and the fire station under construction now. And whilst they are being, the buildings for those services are being constructed, we'll head over to the road vehicles factory and we'll get the vehicles being constructed as well. So this is the Severna road vehicles factory, and I'm pretty glad that I did come over here, because as anyone who's played this game for as long as I have, you know that you're never far away from the train locker. Yay! Right, so let's get this sorted. So let's see what's going on. It happens quite a lot, but as a result, you do get pretty good at diagnosing them. And I think what my problem is, I think that this train's there'll be either a change signal or something. So this train wants to go this way and up into here maybe, and this train, that I think I've got a change signal here, so it's going to be stopping that train from either going this way or that way, because this line's two-way. I don't know which way that's wanting to go, but I would imagine it's wanting to go this way, and I imagine that this here is going to be red because it crosses a line here that the train itself is blocking. Okay, so this is just an oversight of me when I laid this rail. So this is saying, yeah, you can't go there because this block here includes the train itself. If I was to put, just for example, if I was to put this here, you should be amazed that this clears itself. So chain signals are handy, but you do need to watch stuff like that. Always make sure that the train isn't going to end up somehow blocking itself, blocking the signal thing, you know. So yeah, so there you go. So that's one that just happened purely organically when I come to the factory. It was luckily right outside, and now we'll have to wait for all this traffic to clear. You know, I was actually starting to think, I was like, why is it, this is taking a little bit too long? So I checked what we were waiting for. Oh, we're not waiting on anything on that one now, nor that one. It's probably sorted itself out now, but it was waiting for mechanical components. And what's around here? Most of the mechanical components production, so that makes sense. So let's just see how long this takes to clear. Once the trains move, the traffic should move relatively freely. There we go. But like in real life, every little incident like that happens makes the future risk of it happening again reduced, because now I've fixed that signal. So that's one less signal waiting to cause, because I can guarantee that's probably been going backwards or forwards like that for weeks. But it's just that the exact correct right circumstances had arisen. So let's get those vehicles planned and built. So I've already got constructed in here, because I am going to expand the distribution network for the new city that will be being built in the next couple of episodes. But for the time being, we don't need them, so I'm going to just go ahead and get the ambulances. Not the ambulances, sorry, the fire engine and police car. I'm not sure whether I have actually bought... no, I haven't. I haven't bought any plans for those yet, so let's go ahead and get that. So, fire engine. Now remember, whenever you are, if you're used to buying vehicles, whenever you go to buy the plan for a vehicle, make sure you only click the thing once, and you don't end up clicking it several times like you would be if you were buying a vehicle and buying a load of ambulance plan. Well, ambulances on the mine, it's a bit worrying, isn't it? Don't get clicking on a load of fire engines that you're never going to use, so make sure you just click it once. There we go, done. And then the next one that we need is a police car. Now I do tend to like to buy Western police cars, but it's only 1974, so they might not will have that one. So it looks very police car-y. Remember, only click it once. Right. So we'll make 4 fire trucks and 4 police cars, or as we call them in the United Kingdom, fire engines. Fire trucks. It's called a fire truck in here, so I'll call it fire truck. So they're under construction now. Always make sure, unless you want to just create vehicles to infinity, always click stop production after Q ends. If you're making vehicles for export and you've got loads of resources, and then yeah, you can do it, and it'll just keep making the same vehicle over and over again. But if you only want a specific order of vehicles, then make sure you click stop production after Q ends. So there we go, they're on their way now. So they should be ready in the next few minutes. Now, whilst that's happening, we need people to work at these new fire station and police station, and obviously the refinery eventually. So let's go ahead and get a train. I don't have a train factory at the moment, so we are still going to have to order the train, but yeah. So here we are at the train depot, where we buy our trains from at the moment, because I don't have my own factory for them. At the moment, I'm just using the same train, which is this ER2 set. It carries 1,050 passengers. What I tend to do is I'll pick a designer train, or at least trains within a relative speed bracket and acceleration rate, because if you have different trains running at different speeds, they can trip each other up. So, if you can, try and stick to the same model and make of the train. So it's an electric train, so it doesn't need to stop for any refueling or anything like that, so that's good. It's much more efficient. And we're going to what I shall do, I might actually buy a couple of trains, because it's going to be quite the distance, isn't it? So there's going to be a long gap in between when these 2 trains will be arriving at the refineries. So it's also a good idea, if you are going to be covering a big distance, to increase the number of trains. Sometimes I will advise people to reduce the number of vehicles, because the more trains you've got, the more chances of a lockup occurring you've got, the more processing load it gives you for your computer. But what I shall do is I'll separate their routes slightly, just so that they don't trip up each other too much. So the first one we can have coming from this terminus station here, which is the tri-crescent, because it's on the crescent of the central plane, and it's got 3 sides. That's why it's called that, if you're wondering. So it will go to this terminus station first, click, then it will go to this station here, and by the time it's got here, it's probably going to be full, to be fair. Then it will go through Valkaza main, make sure I'm going to put a waypoint after the Valkaza central, because I don't want it going backwards on itself and causing problems. I do want it to come this way out of Valkaza. So we'll click on that waypoint to make sure it does do that. We won't stop here. We won't stop here. We'll go straight out. And then when it comes back, it will stop here. So say in the future, if there's going to be another train going there as well, remember. So if it's both those refineries are filled with workers, which is possible because these trains do carry over 1,000 people, there's only 500 workers per one. So this could happen. It will then drop any remaining workers off at the original 2 refineries. And then that's it. I just want it then to go straight back to the original terminus station, not to stop anywhere else. So it might just go straight this way, which actually I'm just going to tell it to do that, because that does make more sense, because then it's not going through the central station. It's basically like taking itself out of the way. Okay, so we'll start this one off. And then the second one is going to come from one of the very first stations that we built on the island, right over here near the construction area. It's going to call there. And this one will call in Casa. It will not call at the original refinery station, then it will call at the new refinery and then just go straight back. So let's see what those are now doing. You should be right, because one's probably going to go that way and the other will go this way, so they're not going to interfere with each other. So let's get that watching. We'll watch this first inaugural route of this train. I'll try a bit of a tour. So those skyscrapers there, so that's SNTV headquarters, SNTV radio, and then the 2 slightly matching but different size buildings are just the administration of Upper Valkaza. The tall building here at Valkaza Central is one of our main courts, along with the universities there as well. It's the first food and fabric factories and clothing. And then this is reclaimed land all here. This is one of the newest parts of Severna. So how many people are we managing to pick up from here? 244, not too shabby. This will probably be full, at least for a little while, but probably lesser filled train. I imagine the other train going through Valkaza Central, going from right at the terminus station over in the Tri-State, is going to have a lot of people on it. Actually, I've just remembered I've not put any signals. Oh, keep doing that. I keep putting it like the direction of travel that we have here in the UK. Okay, there we are. So our new train is on its way, going across the narrow shore. So they said that's under construction here is actually the new water pipes. And there we go. The first group of workers arrive at the refineries. And there we have Unit 1 has begun refining fuel. I don't think it's Oh no, it is able to deliver. Wow, look at that, straight away. Well, that's very serendipitous. I didn't realise that they were going to begin working. I thought I would need to do more plumbing. But they do only have one tiny outlet, but still summit. Right, so that's fifth, so I'm going to finish it there. So if you did enjoy today's video, please do like and subscribe to help Severna thrive. And if you do have any questions, or if there's anything that you'd like me to focus on in the next video, or is there any aspects of Severna or my gameplay style that you'd specifically like to know about, pop it in the comments below and I will try and respond to it. Or if you're lucky, it might be something that I'm actually going to make a video on, and I will honour you with the request. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a great week, whatever you're doing, and yeah, take care. Bye.